Welcome to Saturday Fun Day with Connie. Today, my guest star is the fabulous Krystal with Krystal the Yarny Chicken and Crazy Cat Lady.
Hi everyone.
So, how are you doing today, Krystal?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I woke up with a headache,
Mm.
and then I tried to take a nap to sleep it off, which really didn't work. So I'm kind of a little today, but it is better than what it was when I first woke up. Let's see, we have Carol that joined us. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? Hold up, let me turn my volume down. It's echoing a little. Okay, hopefully that's better. But yeah, and then I plan to work on crocheting one of Bod's shawls later today. I started a new Bod shawl. I love her shawl patterns. She has such gorgeous ones.
Yeah, and I know we've said this many times before, but how she can just think up and just do without having to write it out, figure it out. That's awesome.
And she's so quick. Because I
Yeah.
mean, she pops out a pattern every week.
Mhm.
And I'm like, how do you work that fast? I mean, because
Well, we don't know behind the scenes how long it actually takes her to do that project. She could have started it 2 weeks ago, because it does take time to film tutorials.
yeah, that's
So,
what I'm saying. She makes it, then she does a tutorial on it.
hmm
And it just seems like she gets those tutorials out just so quick.
yeah,
And for big projects,
yeah, that's true.
I would love to be able to design like she does. Let's see. Carol says, I just woke up from a 4-hour nap. I've got COVID and have been so sick the last 3 days. Oh
I'm sorry to
no.
hear that.
I hope you start feeling better soon. And
Me too.
hopefully you have a mild case. But
Yeah.
keep an eye on it because back in January, me and Frank had caught COVID and his turned into COVID pneumonia and he was in the hospital for a week. So if your symptoms get worse, like go to the ER, I would say go to your doctor, but I really I found like when Frank had COVID, he had gone to the doctor twice before and they really didn't seem to do much. And it took, and then when he went to the emergency room, that's when something finally really got done.
Yeah.
Let's
No,
see.
Lord Lee, I'm not sick. Um, but thank you for asking.
So, how are you doing today, Laura Lee? And what are you working on? Okay, that's good, Carol, that your husband's keeping a good eye on you.
That's good.
And another thing to expect, even once you get over like the main symptoms of it, expect to feel tired,
hmm
where like you don't have, much energy and it's going to linger. I think it took
Yeah.
about a month for the tiredness, to completely go away. Let's see. We also have Sid that joined us. Hi, Sid. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? And she sent you an email, Krystal.
I'm looking at it right now. Oh, her cats are around it. Oh, that is so adorable.
Oh, kitty kitties. And
I guess your
speaking of,
cat's like the wolf too, Cindy.
I, I always love seeing people's pictures of their pets, especially
hmm
cats. Let's see. Laura Lee says she's pretty good looking through her files for a high tunnel pattern. Krystal knows.
Yeah, it was. She had emailed me last night or the night before about a garden, kind of like a greenhouse type thing. And she goes, I might have the plans lingering around somewhere. So that's what she's looking for.
Okay,
I haven't told my grandma, so I think she'll be super excited to receive them if you can find it. That is
cool. Let's see. Sid's saying you can show it, Crystal. That's my daughter's cat.
okay. Let me try to save the picture, and I'm not sure if it will. How do you share a picture on here?
You start off the same way, and then I have to bring it up.
Okay. Well, I've tried to share pictures on my own live, and I could never share the window, so I didn't know. Let me save it.
It's kind of tricky because it's kind of like you have to kind of have the picture like up on your screen, and then I usually minimize the picture, but I don't put the it at the bottom, and usually then it comes up. But I do find pictures are kind of tricky.
Where did it go?
Let's see.
I just downloaded it. Hold on.
Oh no, that's the second time you've had it, Carol.
Oh no.
I always tell Frank, I'm like, I sure hope we don't catch it again. I do not want to go through that again. And Carol's trying to start the Jen Ivy top. Mm-hmm. And Laura Lee says we put one in our community garden, and I wanted to put one up at the ranch, but we sold the ranch. And Cindy isn't working on anything at the moment, just still resting her arm. Oh, I was saying earlier, I started a new Bag O' Day shawl. This one's called the what do you call it? I think crochet wrap / crochet shawl. Okay, it just came up on my side. I'm about to show it. But this is how far I've gotten. And the cast on is like 256 stitches. But unfortunately, I made a boo-boo. So I'm going to probably have to frog two rows. But I'll see. Maybe I don't have to go back that far. But you're supposed to, I think you have like I think it's 3 stitches after the V stitch.
Mm-hmm.
And I have too many stitches. So I don't know what I did that I miscounted somewhere.
Yeah.
But I probably messed up whenever I was doing the previous row. I didn't count the stitches. But I thought I thought I had it. Because I know the row before the count's correct. Let's see. Oh, now it's just showing nothing.
Oh no.
There it is.
Oh, okay. I guess I have to put the picture up.
Sweet kitty.
I like that wolf picture in the background.
I recognize. Aww. Your little helper. Let's see. Angela's here. How are you doing today, Angela? And what are you working on? She's doing fine, drinking water, and she's still working on the crochet top. Nice. Okay, Carol. I hope you have, as good of a day as you can, and I hope you start feeling better soon.
Me too.
All right. I have some cat jokes for y'all today.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one is, what is a cat's favorite movie? Any idea, anyone?
I have no clue.
The sound of music. You know how they go, yeah, mew mew.
Yeah. Hey, Joe.
Yeah. Hi, Joe and Regina. How are y'all
Regina.
doing? And what are y'all working on? Okay. So the next joke is, what do you call a painting of a cat?
I don't know.
A portrait. And the last joke I have today is, what do you call a cat who knows how to get what she wants?
A perfectionist.
You're close. It does start with per, persuasive.
Oh, persuasive. Yeah.
Let's see. Everyone's telling each other hi. And Regina says, working on getting my laundry done before it rains. Yeah, it's
Mm,
raining here, or at least it was. That's probably why I woke up with a headache.
I wish it would rain here.
You could have our rain. It's been raining like every day lately.
Was it Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday, or maybe it was Thursday. We had a rainstorm, but it was like going around us, like in a big circle. It's like our area was just shielded from getting any rain.
You know what I think is interesting, and I've seen this happen before, where like where you're at, it's not raining, but like across the street, it's raining.
Yeah.
And I just like, that was like the weirdest thing kind of seeing. Like you literally saw the border of the rain. Let's see, Joe saying, what colors do cats like? Purple.
I was going to say that too.
Reg-
Um,
Regina says working on her triangular wrap.
awesome.
Sid says her daughter painted that painting of the wolf. Nice, talented.
Yes, very talented.
And Regina says it's been raining here all week here in West Virginia. We have flooded. Oh no. Yeah, I know there's certain areas that did flood. Let's see. Um, Laura Lee says I found the original pattern site. Ooh,
Okay.
Joe said it was too easy.
Yeah, that was kind of easy. Um, just send me it in an email, Lordly, because I can't get it off here until the replay comes up with the comments.
But yeah, but Joe, to be honest with you, I have seen that joke. Whenever I look up jokes from my lives, that's one I have come across, and I think I used it in a previous live. That joke. So, how is the weather in everyone's area?
Hot and humid.
Here it's hot and rainy and humid. Oh, I am so ready for fall. I think I've been saying this like on pretty much every live lately. It's time for some cooler weather. Laura Lee says, I was hoping we might get a little rain. We had maybe 2 drops.
Oh,
You could have my rain. but, but we also been getting a lot of thunderstorms.
mm-hmm.
And we also have Stephanie that joined us. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? And Sid says, my daughter gets it from her grandfather. He did oil paintings too.
Wow.
Awesome. Okay, Laura Lee's going to email you, Crystal.
Awesome. Thank you, Lorelei.
And Regina says it's sunny and nice. And Stephanie says, yes, fall is the best weather.
Mm-hmm.
And I do, because I find summertime is too hot. And like in my area, even spring is pretty hot. And then wintertime tends to get too cold. So fall's typically that perfect.
Yeah. I wish it would stay fall all year round.
Now, one thing, whenever I was stationed in Diego Garcia, it was basically summer all year round.
Mm,
You had no cool weather. It was hot, and then you had a rainy season.
mm.
Let's see. Laura Lee says hot and dry as a bone.
That's like it is here.
So, Crystal, do you have anything that you want to tell everybody about when it comes to what's going on your channel?
Let me see. My 2-year anniversary comes up August 13th. I'll be doing a giveaway for that. I'm also going to be in a collaboration with Gail's Southern Living. It's Fall Fest 22 giveaway. I think it's 40 channels. Some are crochet, some are from the homestead. So homesteading, gardening community. I think it's going to be fun. It's kind of similar to Christmas in July fairies type thing. So it's that's going to be coming up. Um, what else? I can't think of anything right now. I was thinking about doing a crochet along sometime later this year, but I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. So uh, just kind of planning right now.
And let's see. We have Zach that joined us. Hi, Zach. How are you today? And what are you working on? And Stephanie says she's doing well today. She's not working on anything because she's moving things around and organizing. I need to do that. My yarn stash is all disorganized right now. So, do you have any whips or finished objects you want to show everybody, Crystal?
I have these three with me, and then I have my project that I'm working on. So let's start with Max.
Max.
Max the Martian.
I love that pattern. And I enjoy testing it for you.
Well, I'm glad. He is available in the Ravelry store. And right now, I have 6 people testing out my dolphin, which her name is Lady Lenore.
So cute.
And my newest one that I showed on Thursday is my goat Nellie.
Aww. Hi, Nellie.
And it will sit up on its own. I mean, you can flatten the legs out and it looks like it's sitting like that, or it can stand up like that. Now, I made the mistake. I did not stuff the front legs tight enough, so they kind of bend like that. But the back legs are stuffed fairly well. So, but I absolutely loved how she turned out.
So cute. So what's next?
I don't know yet. I had suggestions in my live yesterday and then on Tuesday, I think. And I think there's 15 or 16 more suggestions for amigurumis. And that's excluding these 3. So, but I said, okay, 3 in a row is enough for now. And I have been wanting to knit this one shawl. It's not really a shawl, it's a stole, actually. The designer of the pattern, her name is Pattern Duchess. And I came across her pattern because I was searching patterns, knit patterns with written instructions. I can't read the charts. So I came across that one and I'm like, I started looking at all of her different patterns that are free on her site. They all have written instructions. along with the chart. So if you read either or, it's a win-win. So I was excited when I saw this pattern, and I know it's not going to show up the design as good as if it was solid, but let me try to get, well.
I know it's hard to show knitting. Ooh,
it's little diamonds. And then a big diamond surrounded by little diamonds.
Pretty.
And this was Hobby Lobby's hand-dyed authentic in Techno Tribe. This is one full, well, there's starting here, that's 10 rows of knit, like garter stitch knit. And then this is one full repeat from the edge here up. That's, you got to do that 15 times total. So I messed up last night and I had to figure it out. And I'm like, I missed a stitch somewhere. I was one stitch short. And I'm like, oh, so I had to unknit half the row. And I did figure it out, but I forgot a yarn over 2 rows back. So that kind of made it a little off. But I figured it up and I added 1 stitch in. I knitted front and back to help increase where I missed, and just I finally figured it out. So I was happy about that.
That's the one thing, like with lace work, it's so easy to miss a stitch somehow.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And that's the worst part, because I know the pretty as a peacock shawl that I started.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I like about the section I'm on right now with it is the repeats in the row have been consistent, so I could put stitch markers, so it helps me know quickly if I'm off a stitch.
Yeah, I haven't figured out quite yet where the stitches fall. So like if I do accidentally mess up, I've got to figure that out, because it's still new and I've only done one each row one time. So it's not like it's my 5th time in and getting a feel for where the stitches should fall. But I loved the pattern. It's not very big. It's supposed to be like 14 inches this way, and then the length is, oh, what did it say? 45 inches in length and 14-inch width. And the name of it is Shawl of Solitaire. And her name was Pattern Duchess. It's very well written.
But but like some rows with lace work, it's not consistent,
Yeah.
You can't really go by the stitch markers.
Yeah.
But I love it when you can, because it alerts you. Like something's wrong here.
And the neat thing is the part that you would repeat for the remainder of the row, you only do it 3 times, and they're very short repeats. So that's what I really like about it. It doesn't ever increase in size. You still have the same amount of stitches each row, and you're just knitting it back and forth, which I love. I love how it's not going to get huge, and then, you increase the repeats like some of the other shawls that I've done. So I think this one won't take as long, I'm hoping.
The knitted shawl pattern that I'm working on is probably going to take a while. Because it looks pretty long. But I'll see how long it takes. Let's see, we have Kivia that joined us. Hi Kivia, how are you doing today? And what are you working on? Okay, let's see. Where did I leave off? Okay, Zach says, right now, not working on anything, but I'm trying to learn single crochet. Woo, go Zach. I get excited like when people decide to start learning like crochet or knitting.
Yeah.
And let's see, everyone's saying that your amigurumis are cute.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, Zach says I decided to give crochet another go. Awesome. And
That is
Regina wants
awesome.
to know, how did you come up with your pattern, Krystal?
Okay. Let me share a picture with y'all. Oh yeah, I gotta open it first. And this is just a picture I found online, and how I usually come up with my patterns is I end up looking at pictures and looking at the shapes and the way they need to angle and stuff like that, and go from there. And I stare at the picture while I'm trying to crochet that one part.
But yeah, your goat is so cute.
Did the picture pop up?
Yeah, I have it on the screen.
Okay. So this is the goat that I was looking at for inspiration. Now, it's not going to be exactly, but it was the closest I could get doing, a crocheted item. So, but this goat actually looks like one I used to have. His name was Drago. And I think I've talked about him before. He was a little 4-month-old goat that died of pneumonia, but he was my buddy. He would sit in my lap like a dog. He would come when I would call his name. I fed him off a bottle. So sweet. He was like a little dog almost.
Oh, I want a goat.
And they will eat anything. We used to peel potatoes and they would eat the scraps. We could give them anything and they would eat it. I mean, within reason, of course,
Okay, Zach. Gordon State Gardner. His name is Joe. It says saying Hirschner's has free shipping. Awesome. I love
Hmm.
Hirschner's yarn. They have some gorgeous, and some of their yarn, for yarn, some of it is really cheap and it's pretty. Like the Soho Playful, and there's the Sundance. That's another one.
Mm-hmm. I've heard
I
of
love
that one.
I love the colors of those two yarns. And Laura Lee saying that's hard frogging knitting. Yep.
Yeah.
That's where, especially like now, if I'm doing more of a basic pattern, I don't need to use lifelines, but like lace work, oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
lifelines are a lifesaver. Laura Lee says, I need yarn. Let's see. Laura Lee saying to Zach to be patient. It does take some time, but it's such a stress reliever. And
Yeah.
one thing, like those of y'all that are trying to learn how to crochet or knit, I do have some tutorials on my channel that y'all might want to check those out. And I have playlists for both, so you can find them easily in my playlist. Let's see. Yeah, and Regina's learning how to crochet too. Go, Regina. And let's see. Kivia says, I think I got the single crochet stitch down now. Awesome.
Awesome.
Go, Kivia. And one thing that I find for those of y'all learning to crochet, you need to be able to recognize what your stitch looks like.
Yeah.
Because on the top of the row, it kind of looks like a little heart. And you really, you need to learn that and learn how to count your stitches. Another thing I recommend, stitch markers to mark the
Yeah.
beginning and ends of your row. Um, with single crochet, this is well, really in all the stitches. When you get to the end of the row, that's where it's the most confusing.
Mm-hmm.
But like with single crochet, you get to the end, you chain one, then you turn, then you skip that chain one and go into the next stitch.
Yeah. Usually the chain one does not count as a stitch. It's just to
Yeah.
help you get up to the next height of the next row.
Mhm. But you do need to pay attention on patterns, whether or not they do count it as a stitch or not.
Well, yeah, like a double crochet or a chain two might count as a stitch. But usually when you're doing a single crochet, that usually don't count.
Yeah. But but yeah, welcome to the world of crochet. And Regina says I can do a chain.
I think she means she can do a chain and crochet now.
Awesome.
That is awesome.
Regina says we had goats and kids. Hope to get some in the fall. Aww.
Aww. Send me pictures if you get them.
Yeah. Laura Lee says she needs a lot of lifelines. I'm still new, about every 4 or 5 rows.
What was the last one I did? I can't even think of the last one I did. Well, whatever the last one was, I had to use lifelines every purl row because I was so afraid that I would mess up. And I get to about the edging, or actually, it was the last less than 10 rows, messed up part of a row, and I had to figure it up. But I finally figured it out and caught my mistake. So. But I
Yeah.
did a lifeline every purl row.
On the Haruni shawl at the end, I started doing that after I messed up twice in that section.
Yeah.
But now the pretty as a peacock shawl, I've been doing it every 5 rows. Let's see. We have Julia that joined us. Hi, Julia. How are you today? And what are you working on? Yep, Laura Lee, lots of new crocheters here.
Yeah.
And let's see. Oops. My mouse is acting up. I have a cordless mouse, and for some reason it's like not moving smoothly. And we have another mouse, one with a cord, but I don't know, like when I try to use it now, I feel so awkward.
That's what I have. I have a one that has a cord. I like how mine does. Mine has lights that change color, so you can kind of see it in the dark if you have to. So, or you can turn the light off too.
But it's like I get so comfortable with the feel of something that when you
Hmm.
change that feel, it's hard to adjust.
Yeah.
But let's see, Laura Lee says, I still have to mark the ends of my rows after 60 years. Yeah, I like doing it. It just makes it easier because
Yeah.
sometimes some of the things start to just blend in. Um, but yeah, I love using stitch markers, which actually that's I have a question that I'll probably be asking today. It could do with stitch markers. Um, let's see. Kivia says, I think I do need some crochet hooks and yarn now. Regina says, I have to post some videos and pictures of them.
Aw.
Awesome. Let's see. Laura Lee's knitting her Christmas sock now. Got to get the taters for on for the potato salad. Ooh, what all you're making to what all you're cooking today, Lauralee? Um, oh yeah, I was losing my train of thought. Sorry. But I do want to remind y'all that today is the last day to get y'all pictures in for Monday's live, your number 4 weighted yarn pictures. So get y'all pictures in for that. Tomorrow I'm gonna work on making the video for Monday's live. Also I changed the date for the mittens and glove video. I changed it to the 3rd because I had too many videos that were going to be coming up on the 1st. I playing well. So I changed the date to the 3rd for that because first the first I plan to post a new giveaway video, and then the second I'm gonna do a video for the winner of July's giveaway.
Awesome.
Because I had all of that, like that was all supposed to fall on the 1st, then they go live on the 1st. I was like, oh, that's way too much for one day. But yeah, that's coming up, and then the finished projects video is the 15th. So if y'all finished making anything lately, send in y'all pictures. I love me some pictures. But I think I get it from my brother. And even my sister's like all into pictures. But my brother takes gorgeous nature pictures. And I've shared some of his pictures to you before, Krystal.
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of times he takes pictures of birds, but I love it when he takes pictures of like some other things.
Yeah.
Like he did a bee one time. He did a spider one time, and even though I'm not a fan of spiders, but this was a pretty spider.
Mm-hmm.
And he's done turtles, and he's got some cool pictures of turtles. Okay, let's see. Julia says working on crocheting dream catchers. Ooh, nice.
Now, I've got a question about that. Do you start in the middle and work your way out, or do you start with the hoop and work your way in? Because I've always wanted to make, I like dream catchers. I have one actually on my wall. And I have one somewhere else. Bye, Joe. I always wanted to crochet one.
Yeah, I always like dream catchers too. Joe, I hope you have a good day. And I do have a question for you, Julia. You had sent me that picture of your dream catcher, and is that meant for the Monday's live for the number 4 weighted yarn, or is that meant for the finished objects video, or both? Let's see. We have Christina that joined us. Hi, Christina. How are you today? And what are you working on? And Laura Lee says, my mouse does that when the battery is low or there's lint on the underside lint. And we changed the battery, and it's been doing this for quite a while. And we have tried to clean it, but I'm thinking there's probably something on the lens somehow.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go unlock the door from my grandmother.
Laura Lee says, thought about barbecuing some ribs, strawberry pie, potato salad. Oh, I'm coming to your house, Laura Lee. I'm on my way. Let's see. Christina's still working on a shawl. Ooh. It's like I hear the word shawl and I get excited. I think shawls are one of the most beautiful things to make with like crochet and knitting.
Mm-hmm.
And ponchos too.
Yeah.
And let's see, Julia says, I make a doily and attached to Hoop Wizard of Hoops. Have a lot of dream catchers. Okay, I can use the pictures for both. Okay. All right. So my first question I have for everyone today is, how do you decide what to crochet and or knit next? So how do you decide what to crochet or knit next, Krystal?
Mm, sometimes just kind of looking through patterns, but also I have a tab on my Chrome browser that I save patterns to, either video tutorials or written patterns. And then I just kind of go through that and decide which one I want to do, or I go and search for something.
Yeah, I kind of do the same thing. Um, and another thing that makes me decide too is sometimes seeing what other people make,
Mm-hmm.
like from or patterns that from videos from other
Yeah.
content creators, which that usually distracts me because like I may be planning to do something next, and then all of a sudden I see a pattern that pops up on YouTube, and I'm like, oh, I gotta do this next. But yeah, I'll search for patterns a good bit too, and or like if I'm looking for something specific, but it's so easily to get distracted when it comes to what to do next. Let's see, Julia says things just pop in my head, and then I search for a pattern. Yeah, like especially when Bag O' Day puts out a new pattern, it's like I'm always like, ooh, I want to do that next. And then there's like two other patterns that I'll probably do by Bag O' Day pretty soon. I love her shawl patterns. I really, really do. Christina says, I'm starting to get requests from my family and friends. So now I see what yarn I have. So say if I have to buy something, I do that last.
Yeah.
Laura Lee says, that's a hard question. I have books, magazines, and files of patterns I have wanted to make. Yeah. And the funny thing is, if you go like to my Ravelry, I have so many patterns in my library that I want to do. Then I even have some links from other websites saved. So who else is guilty of having way too many patterns saved? Do you have more patterns saved than you probably ever get to make, Krystal?
Um, in a way, yes. Not on my computer, but I do have um a folder that is stuffed full of all these different patterns, whether it's patterns I printed out, patterns that came in a Mary Maxim order, patterns that were in a magazine, or patterns off yarn labels. I mean, it's like this thick. It's just one of those folders that you would use in school. So yeah, it's got a lot of stuff in there.
There's so many awesome patterns out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like one thing, like seeing everyone else making gnomes got me wanting to make gnomes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like I said, when Bag O' Day releases a new shawl pattern, it's like, oh, I gotta do this. Let's see. I don't remember if I read Laurie's comment or not. But she says that's a hard question. I have books, magazines, and files of patterns that I have wanted to make.
Yeah, I think you did, but
Yes. Sometimes my memory kind of goes bonkers.
yeah,
Regina says I just look online or my books or look at my yarn.
yeah.
Regina says working on my Christmas list right now. Oh, speaking of like holiday type thing or seasonal things, the the live for August for the Southern Crocheters, we're going to be talking about fall projects. So, going to start getting into some seasonal talk. Let's see, we have Nova and Ray that joined us. How are y'all doing and what are y'all working on? Nova says I alternate between wearables for myself and amigurumi gifts for the kids. There's always something waiting to be made. Yep. Now, one thing, like the shawl that I'm starting right here, it took me a while to figure out what yarn I was going to use.
Hmm.
Um,
Sometimes that's the hardest decision is figuring out which yarn you want to use.
and finding some like for that one, I had to find something that I was pretty sure I would have enough yarn for. Now, I
Hmm.
may end up having to get another skein of yarn though for this one. It's going to be close. Um, but I think I have enough of that shawl. I probably won't for the fringes, but I really like the fringes. So like I'm probably gonna have to get one more skein of it. Laura Lee saying, I tell family to buy the yarn for what they want. They usually do. Oh, we also have Brenda here. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? Laura Lee says my grandson wants Picacho and Friends. Oh, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I bought a book and have lost it too. When the kids moved things around when I was in the hospital. And isn't that
Maybe she means Pikachu.
oh yeah, I think that is Pikachu. Yeah, isn't that how you lost your temperature blanket too? Let's see. My next question I have for y'all is what benefits do you get from crocheting and or knitting?
Hmm. Well, I guess like mostly for me, the satisfaction of knowing that I did something, that I made that, like how proud I am of that goat. It's blew my mind because I just absolutely love how it turned out. So I guess also when I've knitted an item and then also same thing, I look at it and it's finished and I've done it, I'm like it gives me more experience. I feel accomplished, like I did something that's hard. This is an intermediate pattern, and the last one I did was a beginner, advanced beginner, and the one before that was also intermediate. But the more that I do intermediate patterns, it makes me feel more accomplished each time because I feel like I'm actually getting the hang of it. So, yeah.
Yeah, for me, basically what Crystal just said. Um, and also I find it's relaxing. Um, if you're stressed or something, it just helps relax you.
Yeah.
And I love that feeling of accomplishment.
Hmm.
And like Crystal said, especially when you do something, a difficult project, you're like, yes, I did this. And like I always say, I love learning new things. I like challenging myself.
Yeah.
Let's see. Laura Lee says, yeah, it was Pikachu.
That's what I figured.
Laura Lee says, yes, everything is topsy turvy.
You know,
And go
Laura
ahead.
Lee, I just thought of something. There is a website. I don't remember exactly, but I think I have it bookmarked somewhere. I can send it to you, and it's a site online that has several characters of Pokemon, and Pikachu is one of them. So, I don't have my notebook out, but I'll try to remember to send it to you. Okay.
Nova says, one benefit is stress reliever, but I think it helps me develop patience and problem solving skills too.
Yeah.
Really, is another one, it does help with patience. And it's kind of funny how, like, certain things I can be really patient on, and then other things I'm so impatient.
Yeah.
Let's see. Brenda says, I love the feeling of accomplishing something.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm curious if anyone else will have something different for an answer. Laura Lee says it makes me anxious to just sit. I have to have something in my hands. And another thing I find that it helps too, it kind of takes away the urge to want a snack because you're keeping your hands busy. I
Not so
like
much for me though.
I also like, I can watch TV while I knit and crochet.
I can if I crochet. Now, if I was sitting here working on this kind of project, I can't. I can't. I'll sit there and I'll watch a little bit of the TV or something, or watch my computer and set this down, and then I'll pause it and knit a row, because there's so many yarn overs, so many slip knit, so many knit two together, that's constantly changing. Now I can sit and, as I'm doing the purl row, because it's just knit 5, purl to the last 5, and knit 5. That's easy. I can sit there and watch TV while I do that, but not if there's a very a row that has a lot of steps in it. I can't focus on both.
I think I tend to listen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I don't always have my eyes on the TV screen, but I can still usually keep up with what's going on or what I'm
Yeah,
watching.
that's understandable.
Let's see. Cindy says that she's talking to you, Krystal. That wolf you made for my daughter. You made so many altercations that you made that pattern your own.
Not really. The only thing that I did change was the length of the snout and the length of the tail. That's technically the only thing that I changed. I found that the snout was too short and the tail was not long enough, or it was too long, one or the other. But and I carried the yarn instead of clipping it and reattaching. So that's the only differences.
Let's see. We also have Mary and Amanda that joined us. How are y'all doing and what are y'all working on? Mary says knitting or crochet helps keeps her fingers limber.
Yeah. I have found if I knit too much, my hand, because I have problems with this hand. I had hurt it years ago, and I don't know if something healed wrong, but every once in a while something will catch in my hand here, like a muscle or a tendon or something will pop out of place, and I can't pick nothing up. I can't do nothing until it resets or whatever. And every once in a while, if I crochet or knit too much, and it bothers it. So I know it's not carpal tunnel or arthritis, but you can tell something right in the middle is not right. It's like out of place or disjointed or something like that. Anyway.
Yeah, like one of my ankles I injured years ago doing step aerobics. I
Mm-hmm.
kind of like twisted my ankle trying to get on the bench, and I didn't let it heal properly because I kept trying to exercise on it,
Oh.
and every now and then I'll still get like a pain in my ankle.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Ray saying it helps with my anxiety and quietening my brain because I need to focus so it makes me zen. Yeah, it is kind of like a meditation type, thing.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, Brenda says, I always have my TV on, but I'm focused on what I'm doing. And Amanda says, I'm good just working on a granny stitch shawl. And
Awesome.
granny stitch is one of my favorite stitches.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about the look of the granny stitch that I love. Okay, next question for y'all. Okay, I want everyone to finish the sentence. I love crocheting and or knitting because. So why do y'all love crochet or knitting or both?
Um, I guess seeing the finished product, using all the beautiful yarns, the accomplishments again. So short and sweet.
Yeah, the funny thing is, my answer is basically the same as the last question. The feeling
Hmm.
of accomplishment, that it relaxes you, and seeing the yarn work up.
Hmm.
Um, Playing around with different colors. Ooh.
I had it in a hank, and this is what I got at the Hobby Lobby clearance. I had it in a hank, hanked it up, and you never know what it's gonna look like. That's the thing, hand dyed yarn, and then seeing it actually work up. I mean, you can't tell yet, but it kind of looked almost like planned pulling. It started in the middle and then it worked its way out to the side. Now it's working back to the middle, now back out to the sides. I was like, that's kind of interesting. I can't wait till it gets a little bigger so I can see if there's actually a design to it.
And like another thing too, I know whenever I'm crocheting or knitting, it's like I
Hmm.
get so excited to get to like the next color.
Yeah.
Let's see. Amanda saying the granny stitch is a very relaxing stitch, and
Hmm.
she's been a bit under the weather this week, so needed something easy. Oh, I hope you feel better soon, Amanda.
Yeah, hope you do too.
And Cindy says it makes me feel like I accomplished something.
Yeah.
Laura Lee agrees with my answer. Oops. Julia says relief and seeing the finished project. Angela says I enjoy both and it keeps me out of trouble. So what type of trouble you get yourself into, Angela? Oh, Ray saying that that was stunning. Your shawl, Crystal.
Aw, thank you. The pattern is called Shawl of Solitaire. It's a free pattern. Her website is patternduchess.com. She also has a YouTube channel. Um, every pattern that she has is written with a chart. So if you can't read the actual written pattern, there's the chart to go by. Or if you can't read the chart, she has the written instructions. So
And let's see. Laura Lee saying it's better than taking anxiety pills and accomplishing something. And
yeah.
you know the funny thing is, okay, y'all know how I have my back issues, and well, I started suspecting that I probably have fibromyalgia. And one of the things that they say that helps with it is antidepressants. And you know what's funny? Um, Ever since I started taking that medicine, my back's not as bad.
Hmm.
So it really does, seem like I have fibromyalgia. Which I mean, I still have issues with my back, but it's nowhere near like what it was. Because I mean, it would hurt to just touch me.
Yeah.
And then it was like I had like kind of like these lumps and stuff, and that's where like you would feel the pain the most. And like I don't have hardly anymore. And it's weird, like because I'm like, you wouldn't think that that type of medicine would help with pain. It's kind of weird, but it's
Maybe it does something in the brain like block pain receptors or something.
because it's something where like your nerve endings like kind of like malfunction. It
Hmm.
it's like it's kind of weird how fibromyalgia works
Yeah.
because it's like whenever like you get tested and stuff, nothing really shows up.
Yeah.
And but yeah, but I'm finding it's helping me a lot. Anyway, back to the subject. Nova says I love crochet because it's a portable hobby. I can take it a lot of places. Yeah, that's true
Yeah.
too. Brenda says crocheting because I will try just about any project to prove to myself I can make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just jump into things. I'm like, I'll figure it out as I go along. Let's see. Yeah, Laura Lee's even saying that, antidepressants help with fibro. Let's see. Amanda says I'm getting there. I'm getting upper respiratory infection kind of took the wind out of me. Oh no.
Mm.
I hope you feel better soon. Oh, thank you, Amanda. Yeah, Laura Lee says Lyrica helps her fibromyalgia. And it's weird because it's like, in a sense, nothing is actually wrong, but some aspect, like, it signals pain.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Mary says I can pick up and put down a crochet project easier than a knit project. Yeah.
Yeah.
And usually, like what I tend to do before I put something down, I make sure I get through the repeat. So that way I know exactly where to start back up on the row.
Yeah. Like if you have to repeat a certain section like 3 times, I at least like say I'm halfway through the second, I would finish out the second and stop. And then I know to repeat it one more time. So it, because it's very hard once you actually set it down in the middle of the repeat, you're like, what stitch was I at? Was it here or here? Because you have like, say it says yarn over, knit one, yarn over, and that's 3 different times in the repeat. Which one is it?
Exactly. And or like sometimes if you're using stitch markers, you can figure out where you're at.
Yeah.
You can count to the next repeat. But I mean, if you don't have stitch markers, and not all patterns you can use stitch markers on, and you like got like half the row done, you don't want to go back from the beginning to figure out where you're at.
Yeah. I've had to do that before. Count. Okay. It says knit 5, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you continue on with the pattern count and then see which stitch is wrong. Yeah, I had to do that last night. Thank God this little thing is only 81 stitches long, and I was only halfway through, so I only had to go through half the row.
Yeah, the shawl down sorting, it's like the cast was 256
Oh.
chains. And it's like I said, I made a boo boo on it, and I got to figure out how far back I need to go. But I know after the first, well, I was I was at the end of row 3 when this happened. But I know the first row I have the right count because I counted the chain spaces and it matched with what Bag Day said.
Yeah.
But the next row was single crochets where you would do one in the half double crochet
Oh.
stitch and then another one in the chain space. And I'm suspecting I must have somehow been off a couple of stitches. It seems like I'm 2 stitches off.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Laura Lee. Oh, thank you so much, Amanda. Oh, thank you for the super chat. So you know what time it is. It's biscuit time. Let me find my video. Here it is.
Hi everyone, this is the Biscuit. Thank you for sending Connie a super chat.
And thank you again, Amanda. I really appreciate it. And I may actually now get my monetization check next month. I'm close. But I have to hit the threshold for by the end of the month to get one next month. Um, so yeah, that's gonna help because I was I'm trying to get where I do a giveaway each month, and I was like I was probably gonna have to skip the month of September, but now I'm more likely to actually reach my threshold, so I won't have to skip a month for giveaways. So thank you, thank you. Let's see, we have Margaret here. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? And Laura Lee says there's a fine fibrin sheet around, okay, fine fibrin sheet around your muscles. And in fibro, it gets inflamed and sticky. So it doesn't slide over the other muscles. It sticks and hurts. Yeah, but what's funny is like if they look for inflammation, it's like they don't really, in a sense, find anything. That's what's kind of weird with it. And like, typically when you're experiencing pain, anti-inflammatories help. But with fibro, they typically don't help. And that's like, what I was experiencing. It was like, the normal things that help with back pain wasn't helping me. The threshold is $100 because the way that it works with the monetization checks, you have to reach $100 before they'll pay it out. And you don't have to reach it in 1 month. Like I usually reach it every 2 months. And the way that it works is you get to the end of that month, and then around I think the 21st of the following, of the next month, that's when they issue the next payment. But yeah, I'm making the big bucks. Yeah, I usually average between 100 and 150 every 2 months. So hopefully one day, you know, I'll start to earn more. And then I can do even more stuff with giveaways and stuff. But okay, Crystal's back.
I had to take care of a few things before my grandmother's fixing to leave, and so yeah, I had to get that done before she left.
Hi, Mama, before you leave.
You don't have to report anything. You just had to go pee. You just had to go pee.
No, I didn't.
Stretch your back.
All right. I probably have time for one more question. Then I'll be sharing some patterns with y'all and then do a pattern giveaway. So, my question is, do you use stitch markers? And if so, what kind do you use? And how do you tend to use your stitch markers?
Hold on. Okay, so for marking like a progress keeper, I use the ones kind of like this. They could be longer or something, but the ones that are usually handmade, I use as a progress keeper. Now, if I'm trying to save my crochet stitch from getting ripped out, I'll use the ones that are the little clasp. If I'm doing knitting, I use kind of like these. And then I have these that I actually made. when I make socks, get it out of here. When I make socks or knit socks, I use these that I made. That's my grandmother.
I'm waving hello. I'm hello and goodbye. I'm at war with Suddenlink, and I'm gonna win this. Bye.
Go get some more.
I'm going after him. Bye. Wish me luck.
And then, like, these are so small, but they're little bitty rings, kind of like
I'd lose those.
keychain rings. Kind of like a keychain ring, but teeny tiny. I use those as some stitch markers also, but they'll stay on the needle. And that was only when I was doing the socks also, because I needed a different kind of stitch marker. So, yeah.
I would drop those.
I've lost them, but I have a whole package of them. Do what?
Giant biscuits last night.
She did. I had one that was like that big. I cut it in half and put tons of gravy on it. That's all that I ate for dinner last night. Was just a biscuit with gravy.
I know, like, whenever I make my stitch markers, that little round connective piece, I drop those all the time.
Yeah, I usually have to grab them with the pliers or whatever, because I'll try to grab them and then I'll drop them on the floor or whatever. So and the good thing about my pliers, they're kind of magnetic, so it kind of clings to it. So,
But yeah, for me, usually I use the little plastic safety pin looking ones or handmade ones. Some of them I've made, some of them are ones that other people have sent to me. Now with knitting, I usually use the safety pin ones because I find on most stuff, like a lot of times the the handmade ones tend to be too small to fit over a lot of the needles
yeah.
unless you're using
Unless it's, I don't know if I have
needle.
one of those in here. Let me look. Like a lobster clasp.
Yeah, there is a big
Now
one.
this I got for Christmas from somebody in Ladybirds. It's where we participated. Anyway, like this.
Yeah. Antoinette with two OGs stitching and hooking had sent me some that you can use with knitting.
And then also for my birthday, my grandmother gave me like a pack of 250 of the light bulb ones. There. So I got a bunch of those, and I really like those because they're bigger around. They'll fit on your needles, everything. So I do like those for. And actually, this blue one came from Rebecca Bishop. She sent a little charm that had a South Carolina charm on it, and that one came from Rebecca. So,
And like when it comes to crochet, I tend to use like the handmade ones.
yeah.
I thought there was something else I was gonna say. It might come to me. Oh, I know where I was gonna go next. Like with knitting, I tend to use stitch markers where, like, especially on shawls, a lot of times you'll place one after like the first couple of stitches, and then like in the center, and then at the end, like I think it's like 3 stitches before the end. And usually a lot of patterns will tell you to place it. Also with the repeats, there's times that I'll use it with repeats.
Yeah.
Then with crochet, it's usually the beginning or the end of the row. And sometimes I have placed it around the center, or sometimes if I have kind of a long chain, sometimes I'll place it like maybe like every 20 stitches to kind of help keep me on track.
Yeah.
Um, let's see, where did I leave off? Let me find my spot. Okay, I see it now. Okay, Laura Lee was saying when it comes to fibro, anti-inflammatories are useless. And that's what my doctor kept prescribing me. And it was like, wasn't helping. Margaret says, I'm keeping busy. Um, oh, I think you're saying you lost a nephew 3 days ago. I'm so sorry to hear that. And I'll keep y'all in my prayers. And she's been crocheting a butterfly shawl tutorial by Fiber Spider.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's gonna be pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I like his tutorials too. I made his kaleidoscope shawl, and there was one other one. I can't remember. But yeah, I had fun doing the kaleidoscope shawl.
I'm gonna have to check out the butterfly shawl biome. I did his virus shawl. That's how I learned the virus stitch.
Yeah.
Now one that I've been eyeing that I want to make two from him is virus meets Granny.
Yeah.
I want to do that shawl eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even Laura Lee's saying that's a beautiful shawl. It's on my list. The butterfly shawl.
Yeah.
Sid says, I think I might make pumpkin butter after I finish my spaghetti dinner if my arm will allow. I'm going over to your house, Cindy. That sounds yummy.
I made my first batch of pickles. I mean, not pickles, of pickle relish. 2 days on Thursday, and it's 9 pounds of cucumbers from my garden, our garden, and some of my Peter peppers, my habanero peppers, and two sweet peppers that I grew. So everything came out of the garden, and I actually canned it for the first time ever. I mean, my grandmother's canned stuff before, but it was the first time I had done it. And it took from about 2 p.m. till 12:30 at night for me to get everything done. But I did it, and I came out with 10 cans, 10 jars of relish, plus one that had mostly kind of like juice because I didn't want to waste it. I said, oh, I can use that juice as like a sauce on my eggs or something. So
Cool. I've made pickles before.
mm-hmm.
I find that the bread and butter ones
Mm-hmm.
would do better. But I have done dill, but I don't find the flavor sticks as well. But it could
Yeah.
also be I did unsalted pickles, and that
Yeah.
salt may help.
Yeah. Now, what I did, the recipe that I followed, it said to use pickling salt, and you let them set with turmeric and pickling salt for 2 hours, and then you drain it and rinse it, and then you cook everything together in vinegar. Well, it called for dill seed, and the difference is I used dill weed seasoning, and I added instead of 2 tablespoons, I put 3. And then I also added garlic garlic powder. And that wasn't in the recipe. And so celery seed I also used.
Here's some dill seed.
So I kind of made it my own. And I won't be able to know what it tastes like until next Thursday. So I'm kind of excited, but kind of nervous. I'm hoping it comes out hot, but not too hot, because very funny. I took a little piece like this of a tip of a habanero and put it on my tongue, and it literally felt like I put a burning hot cigarette out on my tongue. That's how hot that pepper was. I was like, I'm doing like this, and I had gloves on my hands from cutting the peppers, and I couldn't touch nothing, couldn't get anything to drink. Mama's sitting there trying to give me a drink of Boost, and I said, that's not working. So she got me a glass of milk. I drank that, and it still wasn't working. And I said, I remembered something in the hot sauce recipe I'm going to do. They say add more sugar if it's too hot. I had her pour sugar in my mouth, and it actually took away the heat to where it was not burning so bad.
Milk helps too.
I tried milk. It wouldn't stop. I drank a whole glass that was about this big. It's an 8-ounce glass, and it did not go away.
And the worst thing to do, if you eat something hot, do not drink water after.
Yeah.
Water will make it worse. Yeah, you know what's funny is I thought I would be cutting today's live short because of my headache. And I think I'm going to go a little over an hour and a half. I'm going to try to wrap things up though. But I want to get through the comments and share those patterns and do that giveaway. But yeah, I thought I'd be cutting it short. Amanda says, I do use, hold on, I forgot Ray's comment first. Oh, sorry. Ray says, I collect more than use them. I forget most of the time to use my fancy ones and just grab my plastic ones. And my cat, Sophie, loves to knock them over. Her favorite pastime, knocking things over. Amanda says, I do use a little plastic safety pin looking stitch markers to just hold my place when I put my project up when not working on it. Yeah, that's another thing too, with crochet, to keep the yarn from slipping through your stitches you've already worked. If you put a stitch marker at the end on the loop of the yarn, it'll keep it from unraveling on you. Brenda says, I use plastic pin stitch markers when I'm working in a round. And Margaret says, I buy mine from Amazon. I use them every time I crochet. I mark them everywhere on my project. Oh, that's whenever I knit, I'll tend to put a stitch marker on the front side of the project, because with knitting you have a right side and a wrong side.
Yeah.
Laura Lee says, I use the light bulb markers. I don't have many handmade cute ones. Cindy says, I'm afraid to use the nice stitch markers I won from YouTubers. I'm so afraid I will lose them or break them. Now, one thing with stitch markers, I do find some of the handmade ones will sometimes come undone, but it's usually easy to fix them. Especially if you know how to make stitch markers, because you just kind of take your jewelry making pliers to it and get it like tightened on it, because usually that opening comes comes just enough apart where it fall, like the stitch marker falls off. I'm trying to explain it. Let's see. Mary says, my last knit shawl, I used every stitch marker I had along the edge, the cheap ones and the fancy ones, and I was still too short. I used them in the round when crocheting. Okay, Brenda, well, you're probably already gone, but I hope you have a good day. She's going to her daughter's house, making wedding bouquets and centerpieces for tables.
Aw.
Margaret says, she's using a really busy yarn. Yeah, that's the one thing when it comes to busy yarns. Like certain patterns, the busy yarns do not really look right. Because especially like have a lot of design in the pattern, it takes away from the design. Yep, you can make your own stitch markers. Lorley says she still can't make the biscuits. It sounds so easy when she explained it. Biscuits.
Momo's biscuits.
Oh.
I'll see if she'll send you the recipe, Lorley. Might be easier that way.
Amanda had to go. She's probably already going, but I hope you have a good day, Amanda. Let's see, we have Michelle that joined us, Deanna. Let's see,
and Gail.
How are y'all doing, and what are y'all working on? Let's see, Laura Lee says, I have the stuff to make some, but I can't find the right size lobster claws. They're either too big or little. Mm-hmm. See, I got mine from Amazon, but mine are kind of about, the typical size you tend to see people using. And let's see. Deanna says, I'm working on a top. On a top, I'm working on a top I need at Crochet. I guess you're just saying you're working on a crochet top.
Maybe she means it's a channel named I Need Crochet, maybe.
Maybe. Let's see, Laura Lee says, how hot are Peter peppers? I can't make enough pickled green beans.
I think Joe had told me the Peter pepper's comparative heat is, or should I say it like this? The heat of a Peter pepper is comparable to the heat of a jalapeno.
And let's see. Oh, thank you, Deanna. Yeah, my headache's better than it was when I first woke up. But at first I'm like, oh, how am I going to do my live today? But the funny thing is, now that I'm live, I seem to be a lot better, Let's see. Yeah, Gail says she ordered her lobster from Amazon too. Okay. So now I'm going to get into these are free crochet patterns, and it's cabled blanket patterns. And I have all the links for these patterns in the description box of today's live, if anyone's interested in making any of these. The first one is the Molly Cabled Blanket by Lee Sartori. And look at how beautiful. I love all that texture. And y'all know I love cables. Let's see, here's another picture.
Oh, that's pretty.
I know I love this pattern. And let's get to the next one. This one's called Mock Cable Blanket by Yarnspiration Design Studio. And I may have shared this pattern before. It's looking kind of familiar.
Yeah.
I've shared so many that sometimes I can't completely keep track of which ones I've shared. But I love how this looks. And I love those colors too. Okay. The next one is the Basket Weave Diamond Throw by Bonnie Barker. And I love the texture on this one too.
Now, is that one knitted or crocheted?
These are all crochet.
Oh, okay.
And I guess she made a pillow here. Yeah, pillow. Okay.
Yeah, I can tell that one's crocheted. The other one, I think the first one, I couldn't tell if it was knitted or crocheted.
Yeah. The sad thing is, I wish they had better pictures where you could really see the details of the blanket better.
Mm-hmm.
Some patterns have better pictures than others. Okay, let's see. This one I absolutely love. The Aaron Heart's Throw by Bonnie Barker. That's a second pattern by her. I'm kind of curious. I'm gonna have to look at what other patterns she has. But I love this blanket. I think it's gorgeous. Oh, let's see. Here it is in another color. But I just think that blanket is beautiful. And that's one too I may have shared before. Because I'm thinking I may have shared that on my community page one time. Mm-hmm. This one is the Arrow Stitch Afghan by Burnett Design Studio. And I love the Arrow Stitch. But unfortunately, the pictures aren't the best for this one.
If you maybe if you click up at the top where it says full screen, it might enlarge the picture a little more.
See, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah. Still can't see that one very good, but it does at least get the pictures a little closer.
Yeah, I find the first one, it's like it looks kind of blurry. Let's see. We have we have Cindy with an S that joined us, and Melanie. How are y'all doing, and what are y'all working on? Let's see. I see people saying hi to Granny D. So I guess.
And to answer, I think they keep seeing Nightbot drop her link, and they think she's here, but it's dropping her link. To answer your question, Gail, yes, I'm still in it. I actually mentioned at the beginning of the live about your Fall Fest 22. So, yes, I'm in.
I still don't know yet. I gotta wait till it gets closer. What day does it start? Hold up.
You have August 1st through the 5th to get your video up.
Oh, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make that one. Sorry. Let's see. Okay, Deanna says the channel name was I Needed Crochet. She has a lot of items and lots of sizes, small to 5X. Nice. Yeah, it looks like I've got a super chat. I'm trying to find it. Okay, here it is. Thank you so much, Cindy, with an S, for the super chat. And y'all know what time it is again. It's biscuit time. Let me find my video.
Hi, everyone. This is the Biscuit. Thank you for sending Connie a super chat.
And thanks again for the super chat, Cindy. I really appreciate it. Let's see. I'm trying to skim the comments real quick before doing the pattern giveaway. Let's see.
Well, I just want to let you know right now, my computer just popped up and said it needed an update, and it's fixing to restart in like 5 minutes. So if I just disappear, that's what happened. It restarted.
Okay.
It shuts down on its own and makes me do the update. So
yeah, everyone's saying the blankets are beautiful. Oh, and Lucy just joined us. Hi, Lucy. How are you today? And what are you working on? We're at the end of the live, but I do appreciate that you came by, and I would love it if you caught the replay. So yeah, let me get Nightbot up so I can do that giveaway. Okay, let me get to it. Let's see, what keyword do I want to use? You got an idea for me, Krystal?
Blissful. How about that?
What did you say?
Blissful, no S.
Cool. And we're gonna do it all.
I got from Sabrina.
We're gonna do it all lowercase.
I have noticed Nightbot is not case sensitive, so whether they capitalize it or, yeah.
Okay, so the word is blissful, and it's spelled BLISSFUL. Okay, and this is open worldwide since it's a PDF file. And if y'all want to be entered, type blissful now.
You might want to click the box at the top that says mods to include them.
Okay. All right, type blissful if you want to win one of my patterns from my Ravelry store. Now, I have 3 patterns that are crochet: the Easter plaid beanie, the patriotic scarf, and one of the alien beanies. The rest of my patterns are knit. So do you have anything else that you want to mention before we wrap things up, Krystal?
No, just, well, I'll restate. Gale Southern Living is going to be having Fall Fest 22. It's a collaboration, kind of like Christmas and July Fairies. I just saw where she said in the chat that 52 or 54 channels are taking part. So, yeah, I think it's going to be super fun. And August 13th is my 2-year anniversary on YouTube. I'll be doing a giveaway for that pretty soon. Don't know exactly when. Last year I did a live giveaway. This year I'm just going to do a regular giveaway since I had a big live giveaway for my birthday. So other than that, I think that's about it going on with me.
Awesome. Awesome.
And I just want to say thanks for having me in case my computer restarts.
And thank you for coming live with me. Yeah, and congratulations on 2 years. All right, I'll give it 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and up. All right. Let's see who the lucky winner is going to be. Good luck, everybody. It's Angela. Congratulations, Angela Wright. You are the winner. She's been winning quite a bit lately.
Oh, there we go.
All right. Let's see. Let me put my email on the screen. So, Angela, I need you to email me at justanotherstitch2020@gmail.com so you can claim your pattern. And my email address is in the description box of all my videos and on my about page. Krystal looks funny. She's all frozen. But yeah, so that basically wraps everything up. I want to remind y'all, get y'all pictures in from my upcoming lives and video. Today's the last day to send in your number 4 weighted yarn pictures. Then on the 3rd, I'm going to be doing a video on y'all glove and mitten makes that y'all have made and at any time. And the same thing with the number 4 weighted yarn. Those can be pictures from any time. And then the 15th, I will be doing the finished projects video. So if y'all have made anything recently, submit y'all pictures for that video. And I want to thank everybody for joining me on the live today. I enjoyed talking with everybody, and I hope y'all enjoyed today's live. And I also want to thank those that will be watching the replay. And if you do watch the replay, please leave a comment to let me know. And also feel free to answer any of the questions that I asked on today's live. Let's see, Angela saying Granny D gave me a super chat. Huh. But I haven't noticed any comments from Granny D. I know Cindy gave me a super chat. Let me scroll real quick. I'm scrolling and I'm not seeing anything. Huh. I don't see anything at all. Not even any comments from her. All right. And Cindy saying Granny D gave me a super chat too. Huh. Well, I want to thank you, Granny D, for the super chat. But this is weird. I do not see anything. Huh. I'm trying to see. I do not see anything. I know Amanda gave me one earlier in the live. But like I said, if you did send me one, Granny D, thank you so much. All right. So I hope everybody has a fabulous Yarny day. Be the light and bye.